Hey guys, my name is Alex, and I'm taking yet another of the many reprieves from the Stephen King Project and from the 1000 Movie Project in order to make a quick video addressing some things that have been going on in the past couple months and to talk about this book, which is amazing. It's called Running with Raven, and it was released by a small press, and it's just really, really good, and it needs as much word of mouth as is possible. It's 200 pages, it's really light reading. I picked it up on Tuesday, I finished it on Thursday. It's really funny, it's really moving, and it's based on a true story down here in Miami. There's a guy named Robert Raven Kraft who at one point in the 70s, he made a New Year's resolution that he was going to run 8 miles a day every day down South Beach. And then he just never stopped. Robert Raven Kraft has run 8 miles a day on South Beach every day for the past 40 years. So the book is kind of about him and about his obsession with getting out there and hitting the sand every day to do this run, but it's also about the community that he's facilitated with all the people who have joined him. Everybody who runs with him gets a nickname, and of course the book is also kind of like a history of all the crazy shit that's happened on South Beach over the past 40 years and how it started out as basically a retirement community that was predominantly Jewish, and then in the 80s it started becoming predominantly Hispanic, which is to say predominantly Cuban. Shout out to my people making Miami what it is. It's really funny, it's really moving, it's really insightful. I really loved it, and I met the writer Laura Lee Huttenbach and Robert Raven Kraft himself. But I also want to get back to the thing of like this having been a reprieve for me. This very slight, very just entertaining, delightful read. It's been a reprieve from the really kind of major, difficult works that I've been trying to read lately. Simultaneously, I'm reading Mason and Dixon and Gravity's Rainbow. Both of them are by Thomas Pynchon. Both of those books are about 700 pages long or a little bit longer. I also, for Tome Topple earlier in April, tried to read in its entirety. I'm still working on it. Boswell's Life of Johnson, which was this amazing edition, was sent to me by Steve Donahue over at Steve Reads. Anyways, all these really big, ambitious, difficult books, and I think the reason I've been so interested in them, and the reason I'm so interested in this character, Robert Raven Kraft, who's been running 8 miles a day on South Beach for 40 years, is because they are all these things have to do with obsessive people. I'm realizing at the moment that I have become obsessed with obsession, and I think there's a reason for that given where I am in life at the moment. I'm really interested in books that are written by obsessive people, because you really do have to be an obsessive kind of person to spend 10 or more years working on a particular book, which is clearly what Thomas Pynchon did with Gravity's Rainbow and with Mason and Dixon. It's certainly what Boswell did with Life of Johnson. When an obsessive person finds something that they can be obsessive about, and they resoundingly say, I'm going to dedicate myself to this particular thing. Whether that particular thing is running 8 miles a day on the beach, maybe it's writing the most compendious biography conceivable, or maybe it's writing a 18th century pastiche about Mason and Dixon. It's a big decision, and when you make this decision, when you commit yourself to this thing, you are simultaneously just closing a lot of distracting doors in your life. So like this guy, Robert Raven Kraft, they just call him the Raven, who says, I'm gonna run 8 miles a day every day for as long as I can at 5:30 p.m. on this particular patch of sand. By him saying that, and his girlfriend talks about it in the book, that necessarily means like he's never gonna be able to travel. If you've got a birthday party at 5:30, he's gonna get there really late. Same thing can be said of like Boswell choosing to write this 1,500 page book about a dude. If he's choosing to write that 1,500 page book about a dude and it's gonna take him many years to write it, he can definitively say, okay, well then I'm not going to be able to write a 1,500 page book about this other dude because I'm working about the book on this dude. Like, does this make sense? And if Thomas Pynchon says I'm gonna write an 800 page book about Mason and Dixon, it kind of necessarily means, okay, I'm not going to be able to write a 700 page book about whatever Abraham Lincoln. And then I guess this is all very much on my mind lately because last week I turned 26, which obviously in the big picture doesn't mean I'm old or whatever, but with every year I do kind of get a vibe of different doors closing, and it's kind of like, okay, well the path that I'm cutting right now with the choices that I'm making, that's kind of going to be the one that dictates where I am when I'm 36 and 46 and 50, whatever. And I guess lately I'm just super enamored of, and I seem to be taking comfort in, reading the work of people and reading very great books about the works of other people who chose a topic or they chose a pursuit and they just followed it with, I don't want to say blind conviction, but yeah, there is a measure of some kind of like borderline spiritual faith when you commit so many years of your life to a particular endeavor. Because I guess there's always the chance that like one day, 10 years into this project, you're going to wake up and realize it was all for naught and nobody gave a shit and it just went nowhere. And I guess that to me feels like where I am now and trying to do all these writing projects and the 1000 Movie Project and trying to walk 70 miles in a day. Are all of these pursuits like in and of themselves worthwhile? Am I having fun? Absolutely, and I'm learning a lot, and I think that I'm growing. But I do feel this kind of, I don't know, titty twist of doubt, and like am I gonna wake up one day and be like, what I'm a dancer. What am I doing? Like, will the writing have proven to be just an enormous waste of... I don't think it's the case, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah, the point of this video, apart from my, I don't know, quarter-life crisis or whatever, is that this book, Running with Raven by Laura Lee Huttenbach, is absolutely, absolutely amazing. I loved it. I laughed out loud a lot at bars, and I went to a faculty party last week, and I drank a little too much, and I told the same story having to do with Purdue chickens 3 times in the course of a single night. So yeah, please, if you'll do me a huge solid and help me support this local writer about a great local topic that it just happens to be an amazing book, I would really love you. I would really love you. And also I would like to hear down in the comments if you're going through a similar period in life. Like, I think the beard is actually a manifestation of this whole anxiety of like, what am I doing with it? But yeah, let me know about your attitude toward these big, ambitious, Herculean books. Do you think that they're even worthwhile? And if you're in your mid-20s, please regale me with tales of your angst. How does it manifest? What are you insecure about? I guess that's it. Constant Reader, thanks for watching.